Because everybody just loves a little controversy.
Why are we outdoor running in an online competition?
You don't believe what the things you're saying.
I'm so glad you're back.
What? You want to see me run an 800? You want to see me run an 800?
It's so much dumber than that.
Why?
How dumb is that?
Why not make it?
Hang on. This is the best part.
Let's continue to divide the community.
Oh, gosh. Oh, you just...
Amazing. Adrian Bozman is willing to talk on speakerphone. How do you guys feel about it?
We rolling?
We're rolling.
The band is back in town. This is the first... The boys are back in town? This is the first podcast we've had in a while with just the three of us. It's been
It was fun being a spectator. I'm not going to lie.
You were here for the Mark.
Mark Bell was great.
Mark Bell was here.
Mark
You
Bell
weren't
was great.
here. And then I'm the only one that was here for all of those.
And my
It is your podcast.
Touche.
my old sad heart is like, I'm so sad, but the reaction that Mark Bell's podcast did not get in comparison to Brian Friend's podcast.
I mean, that's what sucks is like Mark Bell's was such a cool history lesson.
He's a legend.
And, a different sport in our sport as well. Early days of CrossFit with the powerlifting stuff and just a wealth of knowledge of like specialties, right?
Yeah. That's right. But it's your show. And
not to take away from anything that Brian Friend is, an analyst and knows numbers. But of course that podcast just goes through the roof because everybody just loves a little controversy.
They do, man. They do. Except for you, who doesn't is Angelo DeChico. I don't even know who you are anymore.
I thought that, dude, the whole time I think
thought
at one
Scott
point
edited
I'm not
you out. I thought that he edited you out. I thought you were just like
that far off the rails.
I kept on pressing it to see how far in we were, and I'm like, "What is he? Did he leave? Is he taking a pee break?"
And he goes, like I said, whatever I said at the beginning. He goes, "All right, Angelo, we'll see you in 45 minutes." He don't speak again to the 45-minute mark.
But seriously, like at one point, I'm listening to Brian talk, but I'm not really listening. I'm just looking at your mouth, praying that you would say something. Because that's not what I want to be as the moderator of a podcast.
Yeah.
That's why Rory's in the middle, I needed some help from somewhere on this side of the room.
I thought you did great.
You said some good stuff.
I thought you did
Towards
great.
the end.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't need to say anything in the beginning. You guys had a good
You
conversation
guys did
to
have
start.
really good banter. There was no need for me.
Did we, though?
honestly.
My place,
I felt like I just let him talk,
my place is to
which
not.
I guess was the play.
Yeah.
My place is to not interject unless I'm needed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Well, I want to change that, Scott. We love you.
Yeah.
Voice
Well,
is important.
these episodes are different.
Going through the comments, there's a lot of discourse.
Oh, they're
Always.
destroying him.
I'm just saying, everybody just fights, man. Everybody just fighting all the time.
Yeah, people are fighting, but it's mostly the same stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't learn anything about the WFP, but or I didn't. Maybe I did, I guess, a little bit. But I knew, like I'm like you guys. Maybe even worse. I might know less than what you guys knew about it.
Yeah.
And now I know some, I suppose. I know some of nothing, pretty much. I mean, he knew some of nothing.
There were some places you guys could have pressed better. Two things for sure made me furious. 0 of them have to do with Brian Friend. Number 1, you gave me like the douchiest voice. When you made me sound like the fun police at one point, it broke my heart in two. I'm never gonna fun police ever again.
I think it's just my normal, like, making fun of people voice. I don't think there's like one blanket.
Do you know what I'm talking about? He's like,
Come on,
Rory's
guys.
usually like, no, come on, guys.
Come on, guys.
I was like, I was on
yeah.
the treadmill. I told you guys I was listening on the treadmill, and I was like, just roll off the
Turned
back
it
right
off,
now.
huh?
Just not even worth it. Just end it all.
Well, somebody I did read. I look over comments if people didn't know that, but every once in a while, and I read one that was like, Rich wanted to know about the WFP, but then couldn't come up with any questions, and I'm kind of like, yeah, because I don't know what the hell it is. You know, I still
that was the question.
Even
Tell me
having
about
him
it.
here, it sounds a lot like what the problem in CrossFit is there's no communication and no clear,
My biggest question was about the affiliates, and we asked that, and
he didn't know.
He doesn't have an answer. I'm not sure they have an answer.
And here's the deal: is he's passionate about the sport, right? And that's okay, right? We need people passionate about the sport.
He's passionate about the athlete.
He's passionate about the athlete. Well, no, I would say he's passionate about the sport growing. He sees the sport as a way to grow the methodology, I guess.
He is right about.
I don't know.
He is right about the sign up for a competition and
Give you something to train for,
and
which
it'll-
we've been preaching the last probably year.
yes, that's good for you. It'll give you a goal, probably change your life,
Yep.
and I do agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, we're at a crossroads in the community and in everything, right? There's this like old guard that's like, that's not the way Glassman intended. And we talked about it on the way here is it's okay. We can evolve. Like, I think what Glassman did in the beginning, he came up with something incredible. But guess what? You know, like, we want more people to do CrossFit. So if, you know, take high-level we'll just take the, like, professional athlete. If they know the demands of their sport, why would we not specialize it to said demands of the sport so they could use CrossFit to train? So, I mean, I think what we're doing in the affiliates, I think, you know, what CrossFit is from a competitive standpoint, all of it is normal evolution of a methodology. I think what Greg came up with in the beginning is incredible and groundbreaking, and we've just kind of taken it and ran with it. And different people have interjected good things, and that's fine. But you have this old guard that is just so stuck in, it has to be the way that Glassman said. You got to do 3 on 1 off. You have to do fun police voice. 3 on 1
Hey,
off.
that's
And
me.
one day just has to be strength, and we need to concentrate on intensity and blah blah blah. And you know, we had somebody complaining about affiliate programming, which, hey, like, we know we don't have it perfect. Like, we're still trying to, like, give you the best that we think is the best way to do it. And I think, you
What
know,
was the complaint about the affiliate
well,
program?
somebody was like, I was on YouTube, and well, I wasn't ready for that first open workout because on Mayhem,
Oh yeah.
we never do a workout over 12 minutes, and it's
Without-
always
that doesn't
3 or
have
4
rest in-
minutes. And I was
yeah.
just like, okay, chill out. I've done some of them, and they are longer than 14 minutes. But anyway, we
Yes.
do a lot of intervals because why would you train for a 5K every day to do a 5K?
Yes.
And so I say all that to say, like, we're just in a spot where, you know, you've got the traditionalists, and that's okay, and the homers, and, like, there's only one way to do CrossFit, and I think there's a bunch of different ways to do CrossFit.
Dude, you almost couldn't have a better example than Mark Bell, right? So the whole point, even if you are a Glassman homer, is that the whole point was that it was supposed to be open source fitness, right? So an open source model means that, yeah, like you give credit back to the person who created the model initially, but you make it publicly available because you're looking for alterations and improvements, and you're looking for people who are specialized to add what they can in terms of their flavor. And so, like, in terms of ownership of theory, yeah, it all goes back to the same place. But there was the second part of it that was like, hey, if one person keeps on winning the games, even if they're in some small town, happen to be Tennessee and not Scandinavia, that's doing things right and winning the CrossFit Games on a consistent basis, we're going to put them under a microscope because they clearly are. The proof is in the pudding that you're doing something well, right? I think that the negative side of an open source model, if you can call it negative, people all get a feeling that it's theirs. So to your point, it's like there's people that have been doing CrossFit for 2 years, and they're going to come up to Rich Froning and be like, that's not what CrossFit's all about. And you're like, to you, that may be true. However, like, got a decade plus, 2 decades of history
I think
of
it's
seeing multiple iterations
what
and
Mark was
evolutions.
talking about with Westside. It's the
Yeah.
same type of deal,
Right.
you know, like what Westside did for powerlifting,
Oh yeah.
you know, changed the game.
Yeah.
And you're still seeing it changed, and that's okay.
100%. But yeah, it's very hard.
Torpedo bats.
It's very hard to
you
look
know,
at.
like
It's hard to look at
baseball
the
reference.
strongest guy in the world at Westside in the face and be like, I don't think that your methods are really, you know,
Yeah.
I could really improve upon those because of this theoretical model that
Then
I
do it.
fucking looked
Then
up.
do
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
show me then, you know.
Hey, what do you have carpet burns on your knee? On your
They're
knees?
not carpet
both knees?
burns. They're from.
Oh, I just assumed.
No, it's from funny.
Got
Have
a
you killed a
raise.
turkey yet this year?
I haven't even been.
Exactly.
Ooh, in your face. Oh,
I
I don't.
lo-
What,
I-
what is? I don't understand what killing
I
a turkey has to do with
I
carpet burns on
low
your knees.
crawled for 400 meters through that backfield at the lease and killed a turkey.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I saw that. What's the way you like that?
Angelo
What?
didn't know that Rich killed a turkey, and no one else is gonna know either because he left Ben 400 yards behind.
What am I supposed?
He's
He's got the video. I saw the video.
He loves to screw up the hunt for the filming aspect.
Sorry, I like killing things.
Right
and
at the
Ben,
pinnacle.
The only option I had was to go get it.
why are you in disguise as like a middle-aged man?
Oh man, I really wanted. I wanted no one to say anything about it the whole time.
No,
My bad.
That would be so funny.
Edit
I'm like, we
that out.
started it off, and like you guys said something before, maybe.
you still
no
not
one to say
talking?
anything. Yeah, no, I'm still mute. No, I was planning on playing golf later.
Hey, I'm to unmute.
Like that, just an emergency golf outfit in case a
team.
game
My
springs
team.
up.
Teammates, my wife. And my wife is gonna drive the golf cart. She's just gonna hang.
To unmute
I mean,
and
that's good for like an off day of work. You know what I mean? Yeah.
to
My
unmute
freaking obliques will probably be sore. Like a moron. What?
To unmute Angelo, I have a good topic.
Team workouts.
Team online semifinals.
Can I just say the other thing that I'm upset about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got more to talk about before that.
I also realized that I'm like what you called that guy. Like, I'm never going to ask you for scaling advice again. I kind of thought it was our thing, you know? I was like, oh, yeah, Rich, what's the scale for this one? I'm not going to do it anymore because you, like, pumped up so much about people that are like, step in, self-scale.
And do it. There's no do it.
It was a self-realization. It's not an anger at
Weren't
you.
you on, like, seminar staff and
100%, but it's a mayhem workout, you know?
Yeah.
I thought it made you feel good. I was doing it for you.
Pumps you up.
Yeah.
Pumping you up.
I have a lot of news. I believe I'm going to TFX to announce.
Let's go.
I don't know if that's supposed to be a secret or not. Probably not.
they
It's
don't
not a
do
big
well
deal.
with secrets.
I don't know if I
What?
like it
They
or
don't
hate
do
it.
well with secrets.
That's not a big deal. I don't think that's a big deal.
I just
So I'm
don't.
gonna go.
I don't know if I like it or hate it. It's like you one professional broadcast, and all of a sudden you come on here and like you barely talk. You know, you're super reserved. You're wearing a polo
They're gonna-
shirt.
Please, we
Like,
need to like block
Angela just
anyone who works at TFX. Like block them out of that podcast. So they're like, man, this guy's not that interesting. Maybe we shouldn't get him.
Hey,
Exactly.
Move your mic closer, Angelo.
Oh,
He was chewing.
sorry, I was eating.
He's trying to be respectful.
And
There we go.
so
There we go.
to these guys' point about me not saying anything in the last podcast, and my point, I guess, as well. I told them why. I have like religiously listened and read the Sermon on the Mount probably 10 times in the last 2 weeks, and so I was too convicted to pop off with something.
Well, here's the deal: is you don't have to
Aggressive and-
pop off
I know,
or be
I know.
aggressive. You could
That's what
add
that's what Madison said.
a viable thought to the conversation, but you
I
just sat
struggle.
there and did nothing.
because I was furious.
It felt like Wayne on Wayne's World when Garth gets left there and he just can't speak. That's what it felt like. Angelo's just sitting there, and I'm like,
I wish-
I'm not even listening at this point. Like, I'm tossing up a softball for Brian to just talk about, and then I'm like,
All right, he's
maybe
gonna hear
Angelo's
it.
going to give me a
Hey.
relief for my brain to like think of the next conversation.
Yeah, well, my heart rate was like probably 180. So that's I was
What
just
did,
sitting here.
okay, so what were your problems with it then?
I don't want to crap talk it at all now because I had my opportunity to say my piece
true.
about it and I didn't say anything. So
I'm with you. Like I
Yeah,
got a
but you
whole, I got a
also
whole
have
list
had-
in my head from
So
reading.
now
But
had
like if
time
he's
to
not
like
here,
collect your thoughts, which I'm fine with. It like
I
it's a
didn't need it.
long form
Yeah.
conversation. It's not a snippet that we're gonna put on
Yeah.
Instagram. Like this is something where
we are gonna put a snippet
you've had
of it on
time.
Instagram
Yeah,
for
but
clicks,
that's just
but,
to get the clicks. But come on, who doesn't do that? And so
I think Brian thinks very, very highly of himself, and I think he knows what's right. And most of the time, he really does not. And I think a lot of people disagree with a lot of things that he says. And I think a lot of people disagree with the things that he says, and this is going to be me getting on to myself as well. Is like some people just hear him talk about it and go, oh, that's Brian, just whatever. That's Brian, just let him do it. And like that's kind of how I was. I'm like, oh, whatever, that's how Brian is. But I think he believes that he knows best, and he likes to tell people what is the right call. And most of the time, he has no idea what he's talking about. But he
so he's
will
like
make you think. Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
kidding. I'm just
Yeah, I
kidding.
mean, yeah, I do that too. But
I'm
I
just
think
kidding.
everyone knows that I know. I also know I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems very. He seems like the smartest guy in any room he ever walks into. That's the vibe I get from Brian. I used to be really good friends with Brian. I would not really good friends, but like me and Brian were friendly, I'd say. You like that? Me and Brian were friendly with each other, and I just don't feel that anymore. I feel like I have seen through his facade now, and I don't like it. That's how I feel about that.
I believe that he believes that he's
I know. Yeah, he does believe
doing the
that
good work.
for sure.
You know. And again, I wish that I was here because I'd love to talk to Brian about these in person. One
Yeah.
beef that I have in particular is just wanting to have things both ways. Wanting everyone to be graceful and give it time and oh, hey, mistakes are going to be made and all that kind of stuff for WFP, which is something that he's clearly, behind.
into,
But
yeah.
on the flip side, tear it down when a mistake is. And look, I think that where Brian detracted, and again, I wasn't part of the conversation, unfortunately. Was with the death of Lazar. I don't know if that was the final straw or if that was like the one thing that whatever. But then he said he had like this trail of tears for years and years and years, and relationships with people that go back a long distance. But that same kind of grace. Not talking about Lazar, talking about the issues that he had before that. he seems to be the opposite. So it's like, give these people grace. I'm not willing to give it here.
Yeah.
That was one thing that stood out to me. I was like, man.
Maybe us criticizing WFP for no squatting and age group online qualifier for no squatting. Maybe us criticizing them is in the way he explained it, not truthful or helpful. It is truthful, but maybe it's not necessarily helpful.
When it comes to your health, some of the most important factors are the ones that you can't see in the mirror. Bloke specializes in men's health, helping you identify and fix the things that might be holding you back from optimizing your health. So regular blood testing is critical for staying proactive. Luckily for you, our friends at Blokes are here to make things easier than ever. Blokes doesn't give results with no solutions. They offer personalized solutions that fit your life, and they make the whole process simple and accessible. I get my blood labs taken at CrossFit Mayhem or in the comfort of my own home. If you're serious about taking control of your total health, not just your workouts, head over to blokes.co and take the first step. Use the code FRONINGPOD, all one word, to enjoy 50% off of all your labs. Mountain Ops has combined my two biggest passions, fitness and the outdoors, as well as sourcing quality ingredients. Mountain Ops Supplements has helped me get the most out of my training sessions in and out of the gym. If you want to start taking your results seriously, I've put together a bundle of Mountain Ops products. New and returning customers save 20% on their purchase when you visit mountainops.com and use the code FRONING. That's MTNOPS.com, code FRONING. When it comes to training flooring, durability is the most important factor. With Regapol's established 65-year history, the decision for our studio flooring was simple. Made from recycled tires, Regapol floors are indestructible, durable, and easy to install, and has less smell than other rubber flooring products on the market. To purchase, go to roguefitness.com and search Regupol. That's spelled REGUPOL. Get strong, grow durable, and unlock your potential on Regapol rubber flooring. Recover faster, breathe easier, and increase your endurance with Airwave's scientifically proven performance mouthpiece. If high-intensity or interval-style training is your sport, try their patented endurance mouthpiece. I opted for the Mayhem 2-pack with one of each. For podcast listeners only, save 15% of your purchase at airwave.com/Froning. That's airwave.com/Froning.
Or
maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
Here's
Actually,
my
maybe
thing
it
about
is.
that, like not being you guys whose brains are always there. If there's an event that you don't argue about the programming, in my opinion, like it's not fun for a CrossFit fan.
No.
If
for
everyone's
sure.
like,
It should be
this is
done.
great, it's perfect across the board,
Yeah.
like that's the whole point. Is
Yeah.
like
You
mean
we're
like
we're
the
nerds.
classic?
What's that?
You mean like the classic?
That was totally perfect programming. Yeah.
Yeah, but actually,
just
like,
kidding.
people are like, 5 events. I don't know. Is this okay? Is it not okay? Shorter time span. Is it okay? Is it not okay? Yes, there was an overwhelming response that was positive. But yeah, if you can't nerd out on workouts,
Yeah. Maybe
It's
what,
not fun
what
for
I'm
a fan.
saying is maybe what we said wasn't truthful or helpful. Maybe, but was him putting his video about the classic having too much squatting.
No, for
truthful
sure.
or helpful?
That
It's
was
the same thing. It's just like you're speaking out both sides of your mouth, or you don't believe what the things you're saying. You don't say the things you're coming out and saying these things,
You don't
and
do
you
them.
don't abide by
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, I'm a hypocrite sometimes too, and I'll own that.
Sometimes.
And I'll own it. Everyone is at
I'm
some
just kidding.
points, and I just don't think that he was owning it at all. He's like, "Hey, well, you guys can't say this," and I'm like, "Hey, Brian, you said it too." Like, I don't understand that.
I will say he did say that his limited views are to the athletes and to the high-level athletes and to competition. He basically said, yeah, I don't know anything about the affiliates. And I'm kind of like, that's the whole argument at hand here, in my opinion, is there needs to be balance between the two. Like I don't think we should I think that was part of the problem when, media got axed was we were way too vested in what the high-level athletes were doing. And then we swung way to the guy in the porn couch in the basement lifting jugs. Like, why is that? Why can't there be some middle ground of, like, how awesome the community is, how, these stories that we tell, and then, hey, let's show what's possible through the competition for, like, let's celebrate that piece of it. And so, man, it's just always at odds. Why can't we do both?
Well, that old guy on the couch is as unrelatable to people as the elite athlete.
Right.
Yeah, how many other old guys on the couch are watching CrossFit YouTube videos?
If I can't relate to Rich winning the CrossFit Games, which is like that type of thing is what got me into CrossFit. But like if I'm a person that can't relate to that, I definitely can't relate to a 90-year-old dude, air squatting to a couch.
Yeah, you probably can relate
Those were
to.
your ideas,
I need
weren't they?
I need
Like you
God,
probably
no,
could
I wish-
relate to.
I need someone in the I need somewhere in the middle. There's
Yeah,
a
you
lot
need
of
to
middle
see,
ground.
CrossFit Games athletes doing a class workout with other class members because you can relate with somebody in the class or the games athlete. Like somewhere in there, you're like, oh, that guy's me. Like who's doing the workout and like beating him by or getting beat by.
If one day we ever take over CrossFit, I have a perfect idea for a hype video.
I can relate.
Idea for.
I love it already.
I can relate to like
I don't want to give it out because
when
it's like
when we do
remind
stuff
me afterwards.
Yes.
when we do stuff like that 24-hour row, and there's a ton of people that see stuff differently. But like for me, the reason I do fitness is so I can like
Do hard
on
things.
a drop of a hat go do something I shouldn't probably like be able to do, just normal body stuff.
Yep.
And so to like see a group of people coming together and doing like a 24-hour row or 12-hour mountain bike or whatever it is, like that to me is what would get me
Yeah.
into it. Yeah.
And
But you're
I
different, and that's okay that we can target different areas and show different expressions of what we do in CrossFit and what it means. Some people, want to show up to the gym and be a part of a community that works out and play with their kids. Like we can show that, and it blows my mind that we're just one way or the other, and that's it.
Well,
and I think that was, if I'm being honest, I think that was really primarily Greg. I don't think that many other people would have agreed that there was an over focus on the games. There was a huge budgetary imbalance, and the games were a massive marketing expense, but that's what I thought that they were. They were a marketing expense. We were responsible for the stuff that went in that, and there was stories about people coming off of addiction, off of medications, all the things that couch was supposed to represent was being injected, and there was fantastic stories. I don't even think that it was lopsided in terms of
into the couch.
We'll talk about that later. Those blue jugs. Actually, you asked. I wish you could have been there, like to see. It would literally be as if tomorrow we walked into this room and it was the whole couch setup scene, where we had been doing the update show. You walked in and just scratched your head, just like, what the hell's going on? But no, I thought it was in perfect balance, honestly. Or you could have probably altered the balance a little bit, but the games is a massive hook. It's a massive thing that gets people interested, and it was really what protected CrossFit from becoming anywhere and everywhere without being called CrossFit, if that makes sense. I don't know what I'm looking for, but like to be able to claim that as your intellectual property, and whenever somebody saw wall balls in combination with thrust or wall balls in combination with pull-ups, et cetera, they're like, oh yeah, that's CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
So that you didn't have these offshoots that were just like, oh, I'm XFit, or hey, I'm a hybrid athlete. You're like, yeah, it's CrossFit. I saw it on the ESPN yesterday,
Makes sense.
Does it? I felt like I just kind of blacked out for a second.
No,
Anyways.
I get it.
How about this? This is way better than talking about the semifinal workouts. I
Oh,
heard this theory. What?
That's gonna
Oh,
kill
you're
you.
freaking out that we're not talking about the workouts?
yeah.
Why?
Just go ahead.
Because that's what people want to listen to?
No, that's what I want to talk about.
Oh, okay. How about this?
How about this?
I can't take you seriously in your polo, man. You look great.
Yeah,
But it's like I'm looking at a different
Just a
person.
different
I don't even
character.
understand who you are.
Playing different.
Sorry, go ahead.
And how about that? You may have heard this theory. During the transfiguration, when Jesus goes up onto a high mountain, it's not named what mountain it is. It's in Mark, and I believe it's in.
You're deep right now, huh?
I believe it's in Luke as well. Gosh, I can't remember. Anyways, it's in Mark.
Talking about when he walks.
Transfiguration,
and
when he goes up
Moses
there and
and Elijah are there.
Moses and Elijah are there. You've heard this then, right?
No,
Okay.
I don't know where you're going.
So Moses also goes to the top of Mount Sinai to talk with God alone.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a bright light while he's up there. Elijah also goes up to on the top of Mount Sinai to speak with God. I don't know if there's any documentation of a bright light happening. Anyways, they all three go to the top of the mountain, and then who do the disciples see with Jesus on the top of the mountain? He's bright white, but they see Moses and Elijah with him. There's a theory, this isn't that crazy, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, that at that time, they all were outside of time and space, and they met with each other there and talked. So when Moses and when Elijah went up there to meet,
You're talking
with
multiverse
God,
right now.
talking multiverse, basically. And that is the same timeline. And when they all descended from the mountain, they went back to their timelines. I mean, we're talking about God here. We're talking about Jesus who resurrected from the dead. So, like, it's not totally impossible. That is crazy.
That is kind of a weird way to think of it.
It's
How did you
totally
go down this rabbit
possible.
hole?
What?
How'd you go down this rabbit hole?
He doesn't want to talk about the workouts.
I just saw a YouTube video. Wesley Huff, the guy who was on Joe Rogan. He's just a.
Huh. That's
He's a
interesting way to think of that. Yeah.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It's definitely possible. I would say maybe even probable.
Leaning towards probable.
I love it. We were just talking Brian Friend. Now we're going
probable.
to Jesus on the Mount. Not even the sermon on the Mount.
Multiverse.
If
And then we're Marvel multiverse in the
dude,
Bible right now.
I have
Alternate
done
ending.
So does that make the Marvel divine work of God because they have the multiverse?
I mean, it's so good. It's got to be, right?
It goes back to the open
So
source
good.
model. It's like
Oh,
they
it's
just,
open
you know,
source,
they
yep,
had an
yep,
improved
yep.
portion of it, yeah.
My elbow's got to pop. Oh, man.
Well, let's talk about these workouts.
Oh, man.
Why don't you
Actually,
want to
can I get
talk
a
about the
spin
workouts, Angela?
I don't necessarily not want to. I just have a lot of other stuff that I'd rather talk about. Like it's fine. I mean, we can talk about
Well,
them.
but
It doesn't seem
just-
like, it seems like you're making stuff up to not talk
No,
about
I
I
them.
just
What are you
feel
afraid
like
of?
we
I just
have
don't really care that much.
we have been very harsh about programming of
yeah.
anything that happens, and maybe the most ridiculous.
Let's continue to divide the
Well,
community.
Yes.
Maybe I think this is not divisive. It's fixing by bringing it up because this might be the largest blunder in the history of online
Ooh,
CrossFit
the
competitions.
The largest blunder in the
Are
history
you gonna
of
name the
online
podcast that
competitions.
the largest blunder?
No, I don't know what I'll name it. Why are we outdoor running in an online competition?
Cross-
No, no,
Smith's-
we can't start at the end. We got to
No,
go.
Okay.
I'll start. Look at
Event
this is
one.
this
You gotta
is
start with
why.
event one.
We got to start with event 1 and what we think of
Where's
it.
he going?
Hang on, event 4.
Scott, where are you going? You going to run an 800?
All right, ready? You want to
If
see
you're
me?
running an
You want to
800,
see
go
me
get
run
my
an
food off the
800?
front
You
porch
want to
so
see me run
dogs
an
don't eat
800?
it.
Hey, you want to see me do it again?
You have to stand over there a little bit longer. That's
Yeah,
it.
you
gotta
need
stand over
to
there
be
for
out
about-
of frame for at least
Like
2 minutes
3
and 30
minutes.
seconds.
Someone throw
if
some
you're
water
Angela.
on me fast.
I told Scott, I go, if you want to do that,
Let's get to
Can we
it.
go through the
Yeah, we got to
workouts?
go through the workouts
Okay,
first.
workout
we can't
one.
Just start. Workout 1.
5 rounds, 15 clean and jerks in
So that's
same-sex
you
pairs.
that's you and Sam.
splitting 15 while the
15.
girls split 15.
When you're both done, you
We
come
do
in the middle.
20
line.
synchro line facing burpees.
Why not?
135.95.
Never mind.
Why not alternating over the bars?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's
Yeah. Judge.
somewhat of a safety thing, I suppose, so you don't jump and kick the plates. Okay. It's fine. That one's not that bad.
It's not terrible. by
135.95 is
itself.
so it's not 2009 anymore.
No, that needs to be a little heavier,
Hang on.
especially knowing the rest of the test.
Just take note of the clean and jerk movement in that
Yeah.
workout.
Why not 20?
It becomes important on
why
the
not
next
20?
workout.
20
Clean and
clean and
jerks.
jerks. That would be good.
Why not 20?
It's
You could do.
why
5,
not both?
like, why not? Yeah.
That taco commercial, the taco show commercial. Okay.
All right. So we
Yeah,
don't
take note of the clean and jerk. Right.
You don't
You're right,
hate
Scott.
that one
Don't
in
hate
and
it.
of itself.
No.
Don't love it. Don't hate it. Could be heavier. In my opinion, humble
Yeah.
opinion,
Could be a tad heavier.
or 20 reps. Just it looks better with 20
Either
reps.
I have a better fix that you'll
Okay.
like in a
What's your
minute.
other fix?
We'll go through the rest of them, and then
okay,
we'll go back to it. 75 synchro dumbbell cleans. That's 3 people working at once. 4 sets of dumbbells, 3 people working at once. This is a cool. We did a workout like this at the games. It's a cool style. 50 box jump overs, 24 20-inch.
So you split off at that point.
Split off at that, and me and Sam go to our box, and the girls go to their box, and we do conga line box jumps.
But you just cleaned and jerked.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
But in this workout, they get to do
cleans.
cleans and jerks
Oh, sorry.
separately.
Sorry. Just a question. Sorry.
75 synchro dumbbell short overhead. Again, that's with
3
3
people.
people. Yes. 50 box jump overs once again, 24-20. 75 synchro dumbbell thrusters. Again, that's 3 people.
Were these double dumbbells?
Double dumbbells.
Woof.
Yeah. So it's a 3-person rotation. That it was the workout I believe at the games was called 3 Amigos. It was really really cool workout.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
like the
hard.
format. I don't love the movements.
No, exactly. Yeah. It could be a lot cooler. 4 time in male female pairs, 100 wall ball shots, 100 toes bar, 100 calorie row, 100 toes bar, 100 wall ball shots. Regular 14 pound wall ball. Okay. We'll break into them in a minute.
So this
It's
is
not
That's
synchro.
3. Not synchro. Male female split. 100, 100. All the 100 reps. You
You gotta,
split
like-
them however you want.
Okay.
okay. On the wall balls, you have to like hand tag.
No.
That's dumb. Whenever you share equipment, there.
Oh,
should
we're
be
not
some-
sharing a wall ball. You have your own wall ball. So like if
That's
male,
what I'm saying. Sorry, when you don't share equipment, there needs to be like a legit handoff, or else it's like there's that weird like I can start. We gotta wait for the ball to hit the ground.
and you can hold your wall ball the whole time. So as long as I catch my wall ball and move out of the way, she can start.
Oh my
So
gosh.
she has the wall ball just like in the front
Okay,
rack and
that's-
just squats and goes.
That's
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right.
So that all those reps are split. However, but you cannot move on to the next station unless the other pair is done with the station as well. Does that make sense?
Wait, so all 4 of you are working at the same time?
Yeah, so
in pairs.
let's say me and Molly are doing the wall balls.
Why not make it
Why not just make it
a relay?
I think it'd be cooler if it's like, hey, this pair versus that pair. You guys just race. Like, don't do relay at all. Just literally race.
What do you do? Just combine the scores?
Yeah, you just combine the time.
So a relay?
It's the same thing as relay, but it is kind of cool because you're doing like a little mini race within the race.
I'm thinking for the affiliates, then you got to have 2 judges.
No, I think you need 3. Don't you need 3 judges? 2 judges and a head judge?
Yes, but you still would need the relay. Yes, you need 1 less judge, but in the version that it is, you still need 2 judges
and a head judge.
What?
And a head judge.
And a head judge. And I'm not too worried. I don't think anyone's really too worried about the affiliates because there's only 1 team per affiliate, so it's like not that big of a deal. That's the other thing. It's not like normal quarterfinals was last year where you have like 25 people doing it.
Are there 3 workouts where you need 2 judges and the head judge?
I don't remember.
And the rest are 1 judge and a head judge?
Yes, one judge.
Credit barbell spin. They laid it out. Workout 1, 2, and 3. You need 2 judges.
And what are the?
Whoa,
did you
love
just
barbell
credit
spin.
barbell spin? I thought you
I'm just not gonna rip them off. They did the hard work here.
What
This is good journalism. This is what I'm looking for. This is good journalism.
Well done, barbell spin.
What is? Isn't there an extra standard now to do the head judge and stuff too? Like you need to have an L2 or something.
You have to have your level 1, I think.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's skip forward to event.
Skip 4.
5, so we can come back to Scott's favorite.
Team front squat total athlete gets. No, it's so much dumber than that. It's so much dumber. Each athlete has 3 attempts, and each attempt counts towards your total, which I think is good because that's 12 lifts. There's less ties. However, you must pull the weights that you are going to do off of the score sheet that they are allowing you to use, which is from 125 to 285 in increments of 10.
You can only max out at 285?
Hang on. Hang on. Sorry. Then from 285 to 425 in increments of 20.
What?
Only.
What?
So 285 to 305?
You can only
285
use the
to 305
weights
to 325 to 345 up to 425.
You can't do
425 is the max you could do?
425 is the max you can do. There's plenty of guys who could do all 3 of those.
For a max?
For a max, and you have to do.
Does each attempt count
Each
towards
attempt
your score?
counts towards your score. So each person has to do 3 attempts. If you miss your
Could you
attempt,
do 3 at 425?
Yeah, you could. If you miss, let's say I'm the last athlete to go. If I miss, I get no more attempts. We must restart the workout. So, like, if Sam's like, oh, man, I'm feeling good. Let me go for 405. Give me 405. Like, I can do it. And then it's the last rep. He fucking misses it. We have to redo the entire thing, and all 3 of us just maxed out. How dumb is that? How gimmicky? Why? Here, let me fix the whole thing. Do 3 attempts. Let them choose whatever weight they want. Let them choose whatever weight they want, and who cares if they fail? Put a 20-minute timer on it and get 3. You each have 3 attempts. Why make it so gimmicky? Why has it got to be so gimmicky? I don't get it. Put some good gimmicks in it. How about here's a good gimmick.
A ladder.
How about here's a good that's a good gimmick. You have to do 1 every minute for 20 minutes and whatever. That's a gimmick. Here's a gimmick. Let them use the fractional plates. They're the cheapest weights you can buy anywhere. You can go anywhere you can buy plates. You can buy 1 pounds and half pounds.
Anywhere?
And they're like anywhere you can buy plate. I mean, okay, sorry.
On RogueFitness.com.
Let's just say you buy them from Rogue. They're like, I'll buy them. Text me, call me. I'll buy them for you. I'll buy them for every team. It's like it'll cost me like $500 in total for every team that's qualified for semifinals. I'll buy them for you. Like, why can't we use the fractional
plates? Email Angelo at mayhemnation.com for your
amazing.
He will buy your fractional plates.
Yeah, you must email me by the closing of the team semifinals, which is Sunday or Monday or something.
I'm fine with it.
And hey,
I'm fine with it having to be in 2.5 or 5 pound and 10 pound increments. I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna need that company card on Monday.
But the other gimmicks, that's ridiculous.
Why do you cap out at 425?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't cap out at 425.
I could have done that in my heyday, you know.
I don't cap out at 425, but someone does, and someone does all 3.
Decent squatter. I'm not I'm a better snatcher or a better cleaner than I am a pure squatter.
Yeah.
And that guy that caps out at 425 needs probably the extra weight that's coming to make up for the fact that he can't run very well.
Exactly.
I mean, he doesn't have to run.
He doesn't have to run.
So
Yes. Okay, so back
Elephant
to
in the room. All right, what is the rules?
800
What are the
okay.
rules?
Wait, hold on. Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Like, what is the qualification process from here? How many teams
20 teams go to the CrossFit
20 teams will
Games.
advance from this worldwide.
Oh, gosh. Oh, you just
I'm so
you
glad
just,
you're
you just picked the scab
I'm so
off
glad
me.
you're back.
You just picked the scab
God,
off.
this
It's
is
bad.
I'm going to try
We
and
should
find
have
all of them.
warmed him up with this when Brian was here.
this is the only. Also,
you guys didn't fluff me enough.
Angelo, think about it this way. There's going to be the teams that go to the games from this. The Open didn't matter for teams. You just had to do it.
Yes.
This is the only source of anything to
Yep.
send teams to the CrossFit Games.
Yes.
The only source.
Yes.
And you don't have to run on camera.
Yeah, hang on. That's not the biggest issue. That is a big issue.
Okay, is it the clean
That's-
and jerks, the 3 times in the front rack and 5 work? What issue are you going to bring up?
800-meter run, 100 pull-ups, one athlete working at a time. 800-meter run, 100 chest bar pull-ups, one athlete working at a time. 800-meter run, 100 muscle-ups, one athlete working at a time. I don't hate this format as it is written. I don't like it with the pull-ups and the chest bar. We practiced it. It's just, I mean, you run a mile and a half before you do anything. Like, you run a mile and a half.
And then it's 100 muscle.
And then it's 100
fatigued.
So-
100 fatigued muscle ups.
Yes, with a really high heart rate. This workout would be really cool, in my opinion, if it was just muscle-ups. Run, 30 muscle-ups. Run.
2-person synchro.
Yeah. Locker said that, too. If it was just two people.
2 people working.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one,
You guys have to
1
do-
to 3 work to rest is
It's
ridiculous.
crazy. It's just 100 chin over bar pull-ups. It's crazy. And I understand the 100 pull-ups and the 100 chest bar is just bait for you to like be, oh, let's just do big sets to be quick. And then your arms are tired by the muscle-ups. But, dude, they're not. They're not that tired because you're going to rest for 3 minutes on the run every time. Not rest as in like rest, but rest as in my biceps are literally I'm just going to do this for 3 minutes.
I mean, you could rest.
Okay.
I got to know.
The overarching.
What is the running standard? How is
Okay. I'll bring it up.
You'll take the bait.
I'll bring it up.
This is where it gets good.
Oh, yeah, it's about to get real good. Prior to starting the workout, measure an 800-meter loop. The course must begin and end using the same line. The course can be any combination of loops and run laps if any combination. Example, 1 800-meter loop, 2 400-meter loops, 4 200-meter loops. The course may be longer than 800 meters if necessary based on geography or other factors, but cannot be shorter. Teams hoping to hang on. This is the best part.
Wait, pause a second. This is coming from the same people that couldn't measure a 5K correctly at the CrossFit Games. But now everyone in the world is just supposed to measure an 800 perfectly.
Teams hoping to qualify for the CrossFit Games must have photo and video evidence of their run course available on request.
Of their course.
Yes.
Yes, of the course.
Yeah.
Not of their run.
Not of their run.
Of the
Got it.
course.
Failure to provide photos, videos on request may result in disqualification. Evidence must be photos and or screenshots of a GPS tracking device that shows the run course. It must include distance in feet or meters and an uncut video of the course being measured. Must show distance at the beginning and the end of the course.
So you got to do a 10-minute long video of you showing the
Yes.
wheel.
Yeah. The photos and videos do not need to be submitted at the time of the score submission, but CrossFit may request proof as needed. Now, hang on. Standards. Each run starts with athletes' feet clear behind the line. Each athlete must clearly pass around the designated turnaround point. Teams running shorter loops for multiple laps must cross the start-finish line and pass around the designated turnaround point during each lap. The final athlete must complete the run by passing over the start and finish line before any reps in the pull-up bar or rings may begin. The other stuff is not that important. The other stuff
What
is
does
obvious.
the filming stuff say? There's nothing about you have to be
No.
And then here's the overarching issue. So teams that are planning on qualifying for the games may be asked for a video. There's only 20 videos. I have a feeling they'll probably ask for all 20 videos. Here's the Page Powers clause that I'm starting to use now. I've coined that term. Page last year, the PP clause. Perfect.
PPC.
Adrian Bozman is willing to talk on speakerphone. How do you guys feel about it?
Let me put
let
this
him
1 point in, and yeah, that'd be cool.
Hold on.
let Angela put this in. It's important.
Oh, here he is. Oh,
Well, no, yeah, go ahead. But hold on. Angela's making a point, Boz, and then we're gonna. I want you to hear it. I'm walking you
It's
into
good,
a real
it's good.
bomb trap
it's
here.
good.
Bud.
It's not nonsense.
Ro, turn him up and put him on the mic.
I am.
I'm glad I joined at the right time.
Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
so what I consider the Paige Powers clause. Paige got her step-up penalty last year that dropped her down to some 600. Can you hear me?
Can you hear him?
Okay, some 600th place in the workout. I know that I think they said they did not review all the way down to 600th. So how can they know that Paige, how can they know that between wherever she was, let's say she took 12th, I don't know, that 12th place finish that she did have to 600th, how do they know that all of those scores are legitimate to put her behind all of those scores when we know hers is okay, this is her legitimate score now, this was her score, and it was illegitimate, and I'm fine with knowing that she had a muted hip, but what about all those other scores that were not the videos that weren't reviewed that kicked them out? So I'm thinking of the team in 20th place who misses the cut, or sorry, 21st place who misses the cut by 5 points, who did it totally legitimate, and the team that's in 90th place, let's just say they beat the team in 21st place and took those 5 points from them, kicked them out, but they weren't planning on qualifying. That's what the whole thing is. If you plan on qualifying, you must show it. They're like, well, we're not going to qualify. We may do good on this one. We're not going to qualify. So we didn't film it, or we didn't really even do it at all. We did the Scott method. We ran around the corner and came back.
All right, so should we pause that and go wider with Boz?
Sure.
So unfortunately, Boz, you missed kind of the introduction. Angela's on fire here. He's wearing a turquoise polo shirt.
Is it turquoise?
Might have gone aqua. He might have gone golfing today.
Might be going golfing.
Might be going, but I think if we start wide with the run, was what everybody's kind of got beef here with. And so, yeah, I think that's safe to say, well, especially Scott Vandersloot. Scott Vandersloot, not a big fan. But
That's understating.
I would love to hear, kind of like you and I were texting back and forth. And I'm sorry for walking you into a trap. Running. Angela, do you want to make your point?
What point?
Well, you like the workout.
I really like the workout.
Don't hate, but the outside running, the concern is what?
The
cheating,
concern
basically?
is the cheating of the outdoor. I mean, yeah, we'll go
Seems to
broad.
be the main thing.
Especially if you don't have to video the people running the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this about that. I mean, is it possible that people can cheat in competition? Yes. Do we expect that there's some integrity left in the community? Yes. Do we expect that with a minimum of 6 people having to coordinate a lie, that it's going to have to mitigate some of that? Yeah. I think that you got 2 judges at a minimum. You've got 4 members of the team. You have the affiliate that is being performed at. And if they're all willing to lie to cheat some team into the open, I mean, that's a pretty big problem that extends beyond just points on the leaderboard. And like I said, I mean, we do expect a certain level of integrity from the community and from the athletes.
I love that.
I think that's a great point.
But I also know that there's a track record in the community of there being turds. That's the hard part, But like to your point, 6 people, 8 people, 10 people coordinating the same thing is tough, but still not outside the realm of possibility.
There are people that do bad things in competition. We've also got it's not flawless. And I hate it that people will take a competition with, let's say, 2,500 athletes, and they'll pick an outlier and say, hey, you didn't catch this one. We're like, yeah, but look at the 600 that we did and the ones that we did investigate and did get removed as they should have, or did get penalized as they should have. Nobody wants to hold up those examples. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I do think that that's got to extend both ways if we're talking about it. Yeah, people do bad things in competition. Some of them, yeah. And, yeah, we catch a lot of them. And we'll continue to do that. And if people point us in the direction of what they think is being shady, of course we're going to do what we can to investigate and act when we think it's appropriate.
Yeah, I like that. My super.
I can't stress it enough, though. I really do think it's important that we start expecting some integrity from people.
Yeah, yeah.
Even if it does open you up a little bit to the risk of some people won't do the right thing. That's okay. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing it. Yeah.
You
No, I'm,
is that what you're saying, or are you going to do the workout?
No,
What are
no.
you
He said he's you can count on him for
oh yeah, I'm gonna do what you're asking. I'm
for
gonna
virtuosity.
hold to the integrity. Well, because I
for being
think
a high integrity individual.
Yeah, correct.
We are of the mind that running or outdoor running needs a place in any qualifier, and
Yeah.
and
Just
I
not an online one.
And I think it's better than doing shuttle runs for a mile as well.
yeah.
And so yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough.
It is. Yeah.
You, via text, Baz, you made some interesting points about like variability and why you like this format. Will you just kind of unpack a few of those?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think that the event itself really matters. Yes, I think there's a lot of noise about variability, but the reality is on online competition, there are so many variables that are just accepted at this point. And if you really drilled into them, they could be significant factors. I mean, it's no secret that if you're looking at a global competition, equipment standards from the manufacturing point of view, they are not comparable across the board. You're going to have some serious variability anytime you're looking at a weighted implement. So does that mean we don't do weighted implements, or that we demand every piece of weighted gear is now measured on camera and calibrated? I mean, at a certain point, it becomes untenable, even if you could look at that and say, yeah, it's not an apples to apples comparison. There's certain accepted variabilities that people don't even raise as an issue in online competition, and the qualification process still seems to, for the most part, do what it's intended to do. So running, just because it hasn't been included in that in the past, I think it's an easy target. But if we're talking about true apples to apples comparisons, there are other things that we could look at that have been accepted, and life goes on with that. I'll also say that, with a lengthier event, I think that gets a lot of, I guess it mitigates some of the concern. Like if this were a sprint event and people could have their own course that was really going to be determined by seconds or half seconds on that run, yeah, I think it becomes a much bigger issue. But given the length and the volume of this event, I think it's at least a softer introduction of running in an online format, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think he can hear me probably because I'm
Go ahead.
far
I'll
away.
relay.
But the thing I was thinking is what was to keep them from doing? I know it's kind of a shuttle run, but kind of not. But doing 100-meter shuttle, because A, it works better everywhere if you don't have to travel 800 in a loop, and B, you could find a way to actually film
People
that distance where at least you see them moving as little ants. And it's easier to
that,
judge.
I think, is a product of you having an amazing facility. That is not the case most of the places that you go. It's uninterrupted, that's filmable and consistent. I don't think that's actually true. So that's my pushback there.
But I think, let's say you have an affiliate in a city or something. It's more likely they can do 100 meters than 800 consistently. So I would say it actually applies to more places than where we are, because we could just run out. We could just pop out the door.
I don't
and
think
run.
his issue is with them having room for it. His issue is still having room to film it anyways.
Filmable 100 meters. Because if you're in a city, even 100 meters,
you may
not
be running around the block.
Yeah.
Well, why can't you move the camera outside? That's my point.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, you could be doing a lap around your gym.
and it's 100 meters, but you're going around a corner.
Well, I was saying a shuttle.
Oh,
So run
I know,
100 meters down, turn around, come back.
Yeah,
I think
some
you're
places
going to have
literally may not have
logistical
it.
issues no matter what.
Well, that's why you don't
so-
program an outdoor run and an online competition.
Scott's
That's my
gonna
argument.
Stand on that one.
Cool.
Hey,
Anything else for Boz?
I really appreciate him taking the call and taking our bait. It's actually pretty cool that he came on our podcast and stood his ground, even though I'm sure he did not want to do this. If I was him, I would have said, "Hey, don't call me
I'm
ever
happy
again."
to. Listen, man, so many times in competition, the answer is you might not like that this is the outcome, but it is. I've been comfortable with that since 2008.
Yeah.
So sometimes it'd be like that. And, it's going to come and it's going to go. And we're going to learn some things. And maybe this is something that we don't do again based on those learnings, or maybe it comes and goes and everybody's like, hey, this has been missing from online competition. We're glad that now we are able to open this door a little bit more. And sure, maybe we can refine it based on what we're seeing. But I think the original point of, hey, running should have a key role in qualifying people to the big dance.
Yep.
We got to find ways to solve it. And the only ways to do that are to take a stab at it and then try to refine it based on what we see.
Yep, I agree with that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, Boz ain't got no thin skin, you know.
No, I like it. That's
been
good.
Been working on that
I like
skin for
that.
a long time. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, thanks, boss.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Good to see you guys.
Okay, see you in a bit.
Or chat with you.
I saw you yesterday.
Yes. Dude, my butt is so sore, by the way.
Whoa, easy. Not on the podcast, man. We lunged. There it is.
Yeah, Rich's knees got scabs on him. Your butt's sore.
Oh, no.
It was a hell of a workout.
Can't wait for that to end up on Hiller.
See Dan in the mix, too.
Dan was there. Austin was there. Spencer was there. And Andy Hendel, you know?
Just a good old-fashioned bro down.
Yeah.
I can't wait to tell you later about the interaction with Andy Hendel when he was passing through Mayhem. It was legendary.
Oh, he told us.
No, he did. Okay.
Just like rejected him.
We have a different side of the story.
I love it.
He did the full in the coffee shop. He did the full, like, you guys don't know who I am? You don't know who my son
that's
is?
Great. That is so great.
Oh,
Yeah.
Andy.
All right, dude. We'll let you go. See you in a bit.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Scott's not taking it.
I mean, I still don't think it's really that cool of an idea. I don't think it's a good idea.
It's not a good idea.
No, I think it's a really bad idea. I think I don't have the answer. Scott's answer may be better, but I do see his point. Like, still, there are places in cities
Yeah,
that would
just
be
leave
having
it
to turn
out.
corners.
My
Like, it's
answer
really
is
hard.
to not do it in online
Yeah,
competition. That's my answer.
Yeah.
And also, okay, if we're going to play devil's advocate to what he's saying, you should have an online. This is the only chance for teams to qualify. You should do outdoor running to qualify for the games. So maybe the bigger problem is that teams don't have an in-person qualification process this year.
Yep.
If you want to take it a step further, which
Yeah.
is out of the control of
But it's also
Boz or
a
whoever.
logistical nightmare to put on a team event.
Yeah.
You know, a 4-person team event. 2-person, different, but 4-person is tough. I
Pretty
mean,
hard.
programming for it's tough. Judges, it's tough. So I get why they're doing it, man. I mean, I don't know if there's a perfect answer to any of it, right?
No,
I
mean,
just can't imagine the situation where someone was like, all right, let's do this workout.
yeah.
Like thinking about when we programmed for the Classic in like a room of people
you would
disagreeing.
have gotten freaking.
It wouldn't get through.
Smack
And no
down,
matter what they
no.
tell me, I will not say it's a good idea.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty poor idea, but I appreciate him standing his ground and saying, hey, we're doing it. Like, it's our idea. We think it's a good idea and whatever. I don't care what you guys think. I actually like that. I
That's
like
fine.
that thinking just because, like, there's just so many softies these days.
I'll go on the
Him
record
standing
saying I
his
actually love it now. I love the
Oh, here we
I
go.
love the point on
Oh, my God.
No, for real.
Integrity?
I love
You
the
like
point
the
on
integrity?
You're gonna be the next guy with scabs in your knees.
I love the point of integrity.
That's just that's like living in a fantasy land.
Yeah.
I hate to hear you say that, man. I don't think so. Do you really think that like we would coordinate?
Romantic.
I'm not saying
He's a
we.
romantic
I'm
over
not
here.
saying
You
we're
are.
gonna cheat. Like we can't. We have too many cameras around. I'll run the whole course with these guys if I need to.
Dude,
But around the world, people will cheat. It happens every online competition.
you can easily get.
It happens every online competition, whether it's running or not, right?
Yeah.
But
Okay,
this
so it's gonna happen.
This is giving a very, very easy way to cheat.
Do you think it'll have implications on the CrossFit Games final podium?
I don't know.
Not on the
What-
final podium at the games, but I think I
Getting
think
to
it
the
does
games?
have a pretty decent application of
On the
who
20 who
qualifies,
yeah.
of who's going to qualify, and being 20 teams, that's pretty finite. Like so much so that like last year quarterfinals, we took it as serious as we need to. Like this year, like this is pretty serious because like think about Paige. Like Paige got a huge penalty and missed out of semifinals. Like we just need a moderate penalty, and we miss out. We get 25th, and we're done.
Yeah, I don't think it decides the podium, maybe, but it decides the 20 going to the games for sure.
15 clean jerks, synchro line facing burpees.
Is this us fixing them?
Yeah, okay. The workout's pretty cool. I think it needs to, I'm not saying this because I think, because I hate girls. I think,
What?
I don't know how else to say this. I don't know how to say this. They can handle
Full
heavier
stop.
weight nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime we do a 135/95 barbell, it does not matter what movement it is. They always are like,
especially
"Come on,
at the lighter
yeah, towards
weights.
the lighter. Yeah, they're like, "What are you doing? Why are you going so slow?" Like, I'm messed up. That's why I'm going so slow. I'm freaking messed up. This workout you said could be better with a little more clean and jerks. I think could be better with just snatch because we're gonna clean and jerk.
Yeah.
If it was just
I mean, knowing the rest of the test, snatch.
I think
fine.
if it was,
but I also like you guys have to work equally.
yeah. I think it would be cool if it was 16 snatch, 20 burpees. That way you're splitting it evenly. But I do sometimes like, and I think that's probably the point of this, is that it isn't even. You plan on screwing somebody at some points, which part of me likes that. Part of me, the athlete in me, hates it. But the analyst, you want to say, in me thinks it's cool. Like, because it shows, okay, this guy is a little bit better on that movement than the other guy, and he's going to take a little more of the work. So I think doing some snatches on that would fix it. There's no snatching, and that throws into snatching. We're cleaning and jerking, and then clean and jerking. It avoids that. I do understand the dumbbell clean and jerks and dumbbell shoulder are a little different, and the thruster, they're all in the front rack clean and jerks versions of clean and jerks. The dumbbell one and the box jump overs, again, I'm going to be that athlete in me does not like the 50 to 35 pound dumbbells. I think our 55-40s was cool, and I think it's it's
hard. A lot of gyms have 50s and 30s.
I know. No. It's
so
not for online.
Here in equipment.
Yeah.
Well, double dumbbell, I'm fine with. If it was single, it'd be way different. But
way different. But the girls are going to be doing more thrusters. Like I said that to them last night. I said, hey, you girls are doing more of the thrusters at the end. Like, I'm not just saying that because I hate them.
I thought it was 3 people.
3 people, yeah. So, like, me and Sam are going to switch off a couple times and, rob a rest for them because they can.
35. Especially, you're talking light barbells. Dumbbells and sandbags on the female side are infinitely lighter.
Yep. They're just and
more manageable.
And I will say, yeah, they are. And I mean, this is more, the girls think I'm being an ass. Like, it's more of a compliment to them. Like, they have gotten above the ceiling that we thought they had, and they're like going through that, and they can handle more of they can handle heavier weights and probably more volume on stuff.
Just tell them you'll do more ring muscle ups.
Oh yeah, they know that. I said, you guys better be singing my praises. And they said no.
And they said no, imagine that.
Okay, and then so the wall ball, toes to bar, calorie row, toes to bar, wall balls. So as it is, I like your idea of the relay. The only thing I don't like about the relay, which is fine online because I could keep warming up, I don't want to stand there for 12 minutes before I get to work out. It would be cool. The way this works is you do the wall balls together, as in me and my partner are splitting the wall balls. If the other partner finishes before us, they have to wait to move on to the toes bar till the other partner moves on. To the other pair of partners moves on. I would think it would just be cool if you don't do that necessarily. You need 2 judges anyways. You guys do it together, and me and my partner do it together, and we just race each other. Like, we have our little inside race, and then you combine the time because that's all we're doing anyways. You're combining the times, and you're kind of forcing one pair to hang back with the other pair. And 100-calorie row means that the guy is going to do almost all of the rowing. I don't know how you necessarily fix that, but the guy is doing almost all of the rowing because it's just faster. Like, it's just...
Well, yeah, I think you get, you can row at a hard 20 calories and then they hop on for 10, because
it's what we're doing is insane. Yeah. I won't say it now. It's freaking insane. And it's so annoying. It's always like that because whatever their hardest is, it's still below like, it's like, threshold. I might just stay on there and do moderate then, which I hate. I am maybe, again,
you need Taylor and Andrea. They could row harder than.
Well, like me and Molly were rowing the other day, and I was rowing. We were doing like 20. I think I was doing 22 to her 18, and I was rowing at 1700, and she was rowing at 1500. I was like, it's like having another dude on the row. Like, it's pretty hard, and she was rowing less than me, so it's like it was
just getting buried.
Bullshit. Maybe the point of the workout, just like the barbells and the dumbbells, like maybe the point is like, okay, we kind of know this is going to be harder for the guys, but whatever. Or maybe they don't know that with the row. Maybe they do know that, oh yeah, the guy's going to take more brunt of the row and they're just going to have to like suck it up on the back half. That's fine. I don't think it's that cool. If that's what they're going for, that's fine. Like if you're like, oh, well, if you want to have the girl row and get a slower time, then do it. Or if you just want to toughen up and get a better time, be tougher.
Take the bait.
Yeah, fine. I get that. I just don't love it. the run and pull-ups, run and chest bar, run and muscle-ups. I mean, there's not much else to say there. And we talked about the front squat, about my grievances there.
My grievances.
I do not hate it overall. I think it would be okay.
1 out of 10.
1 out of 10? Well, hang on. Let me think of the issues I have with it. I don't like that we're in the front rack 3 times. I know they're not all quite the same. I don't like that we're in the front rack 3 times. I don't like that we're doing what?
In 5 events.
Yeah. And some easy fixes.
There's really
to
no
avoid
overhead stuff, huh?
Shoulder to overhead.
Shoulder
I know.
overhead.
There's
And
nothing
thruster,
inverted.
right?
Thruster,
Which
yeah.
we did wall walks in the open, but like Scott said, it wasn't really even for the teams. I mean, yeah, we tried hard, but it's not a test for us. Like we just hit them on our off days and like moved on, and we just need to get on. So we haven't really been tested inverted.
You won't be tested inverted.
We will not be tested inverted until the games. Yeah. But I do see that it didn't really fit anywhere. I do see the handstand push-ups don't fit because of the shoulder overhead, the thrusters, the clean and jerks, the burpees, and the ring muscle-ups. Like, that's decent pressing. Yeah. I know they don't fit. Handstand walk probably could fit somewhere, but I can see how it also doesn't. So that's not terrible. I wish we were going inverted. I'm not necessarily good at it. I just think it's just necessary to test. I don't know. Out of 10, probably a 6.
We'll see when you finish what you think.
Yeah.
Do you have to do them in any certain order?
No. Yes.
Opens on Thursday.
Closes on
Sunday?
submitted by
Monday, probably.
Might want to check that.
someone knows the answer to this. Sunday at 5.
All right. Anything else? Rory?
Oh,
You
5
giving that
Pacific.
little
That's
grin?
Pacific
What's your
time.
grin?
Could you theoretically, for 800-meter run?
He didn't listen to a thing you said.
No, I did, but
No, you didn't need to.
but
really,
it could be. They gave examples of distances and how many times. Could it be anything? Could it be 800 1-meter laps?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it could be.
Okay.
So you could do shuttles, you're saying?
I
just do
mean, you
shuttles?
could. I'm just curious. Like if
understand.
they limited it to a certain.
No,
Do you
it
have a
says
judge out there at the turnaround?
I mean,
I think
pretty
they
much read
give.
everything
I
on
think
the
they
run.
give judge placements, but I don't know about
If
that.
they don't have a judge at the turnaround, then you don't have to have 8 or 6 people complicit. Complicit? You just have to have 4.
Yeah.
Cuts the
And
integrity.
the 4 people who are trying to go to the games, they got motivation to lie.
Yeah. I don't hate the outdoor run. Send somebody to run with them on a bike, on something else with the freaking GoPro or like whatever. It's easy.
If
Yeah,
you
you must film you must
Hop in
okay.
a car, you know, like
If you
figure it
were
out, yeah.
required to film the whole thing,
I'm fine with it.
then I'm fine with the outdoor run.
Yep.
Here's my issue with it a little bit. If you do that. Okay, let's say our run course is
Is moderate with a tiny hill. Well, it doesn't
No. Yeah, that's no, I don't care about that. Okay, let's just for you guys sitting here, if I put a dumbbell right there,
You guys gonna do the classic run course?
can't. It's not 800.
Oh yeah.
It's like 750-ish.
Is
right?
it?
Yeah, we
I
said
don't
it
know.
on here already.
We never even tested it.
What?
I think your dad walked it
Did he?
with a
Wheel?
wheel.
What was it?
I don't know, but it was. I think it was less than 800. Which is
if
what
I
we-
put that dumbbell right there, and I say I'm going to run around that dumbbell, I'm going to run the outside of that dumbbell around that chair and back around the outside of that dumbbell. Then I measure that with the wheel, and I come back here and you go, okay, that's 800 meters. That loop is 800 meters. What if I run to the inside of that? What if I do the wheel on the 2 feet outside of it, and I keep it 2 feet outside all the way back, and I go, hey, there's 800 meters, and then I go run it, and it really looks like the course, but I'm hugging all the corners, and now it's 700 meters because I hugged every corner. I know that's obviously a bad example, but what if I ran around the gym and I did the wheel, 10 feet, just like running around track? If you run in lane 7 and I run in lane 1, it is the same loop, but it's drastically different after one loop already. So it looks a lot like the course, and you're like, oh, yeah, I mean, even if you filmed it all, you go, yeah, they're running the course. That's the same course, but no, they're actually cutting it a little bit short. And what if I didn't even know? It's not like when I'm in a competition, I'm not going to, I should wheel really close to the gym, but if someone doesn't, and you're like, oh, yeah, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to run the course, but it's going to be more of a 700 when I run it. When I wheel off, it's going to be 800. Is that not integrity for you?
It's not. And actually, like, here's my hope. I hope at least one of those teams gets to the CrossFit Games, and one of the first events is extremely run heavy, and they just look like complete assholes. And they're getting the same.
The community piles on them, and everybody hates them and calls for their videos.
Yeah.
Is that what you hope for? Remember that?
And then they will be innocent until proven guilty.
You remember that?
Is
that what you want? Is that what you want, though?
I was not making any connections.
No. I'm asking.
Is that really
what you want?
Yeah.
You want to make a fool?
If somebody lacks that much integrity, then I hope that also there's somebody in their vicinity that just straight up dimes them out.
So what's the standard, or what's the punishment if that happens? If somebody doesn't turn in all their videos that the people are asking for?
Banishment. You know, maybe
the problem.
A 4-year sanction.
Yeah.
The problem to me is that the team.
There should be a sanction for sure. I mean,
yeah.
Especially if you collected some sort of a reward or financial gain.
Yeah. I mean, which in some ways you would by going to the games at all. It sucks about. 20 teams is not that many, and online qualification, in my opinion, has very little weight on how you perform at the games. Being able to be in your gym and set things up the way you want and sleep in your own bed and all these factors play. I mean, he knows just as well as I do how much that stuff plays into how well you do at online and how well you do at competition. I mean, it's happened so many times for me where I'm like, oh man, there's no way, like, I can't compete with those people. Like, they're so much better than me. And then I get there, I'm like, we're actually kind of on the same level. Because I see their open scores, or I see their quarterfinal scores, or now their online semifinal scores. I go, dude, I cannot compete with that. Like, they're just way far and away, way better. And then the last few years of the games, like, we're in the top few teams every time. And I'm like, okay. I mean, like, I'm confident now. I'm like, we can compete. Like, we're good. Mm-hmm. And but there is. So all that to say is, like, we could do poorly. We could do really well. We could do poor. Like, oh man, like, we did crappy. Or you could have a team that feels that same way, who normally is around that 12th to 13th place. And now because of the online inconsistencies and missing integrity, they take 21st. And they miss out on the games when they know, like, hey, we're a good games team. Like, when we get there, we can really show up, and we can even push for a top 10.
Think about like Zoe's, or even current, like the 8th day teams.
Yeah,
they're really good in person because they're good at teamwork. They're good on the worm. They work well as a team, but they're not like the best online team. Mm-mm. And a team like that might get squeezed in a 20-person online, but they'd finish 7th at the games or something. And to pretend to just say, oh, everyone will be honest, that's a horrible way to do it. Like, you have to plan and put things in place for people to cheat. Like, people put saran wrap in the rower. Yeah. They use fake weights, fake wall balls. They loop videos. They mask the clock. So to pretend they're just going to run 800 meters because they're supposed to is ridiculous.
Calm down, Scott.
I do understand what he was saying, that Boz was saying, that, like, they do catch a decent amount of it. Like, they do catch a lot of people, and they somewhat make examples of them. Like, they don't keep it private. That is, like, or who maybe it's not them. Like, it's other people that make it known that those people were cheating and whatnot. But I agree with Scott. I don't like. I mean, whenever we make a competition, especially like when you met with, like, the AFJ too, about we like to plan on how can the athletes cheat, because if you can, they will.
Yeah.
And, like, you have to think of all those possibilities.
It's part of your job as an athlete to find loopholes.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say cheat.
And hey, to point at ourselves, I don't think we did a good job with the GHD. Yeah. Probably. Right? Yeah. Like, we didn't have a good enough standard on the GHD. Yeah. And, like, to James's point, he's like, I was expecting a no rep and I wasn't getting it, so I kept going.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. No. And is that what he said?
Yeah. And so, like,
and that's exactly what you should do.
And we can, but that's an in-person competition too. But we can look back and say, hey, we messed that up, right? But like, for us to like sit here and, like, try to defend CrossFit and watch them continuously, like, shoot themselves in the foot over and over and over is so tiring. And you put out an online run, and it's like, come on, guys, can we not get anything right?
Yeah.
Why open yourself up for more criticism when you could control it a little bit? That's my only argument, I guess. Well, not to beat a dead horse.
What's the dead horse?
The run.
run.
We're not going to fix it. We got to do it. You know, it is what it
This
is.
is true.
You don't have to do.
I don't have
crap.
to do shit.
They
happening
have
one
to
way or
run,
another.
and some teams don't have to. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I say this. This is probably going to age bad. This is going to age horribly. I like my team's ability to just do them the way that they are supposed to be done, follow the standards, and qualify for the games. I really like, and I just want to follow the rules and do it everything to standard. And whether
Just
that
like taxes, you know?
if that keeps us, if that might make us, that might put us in first place. It may put us in 20th place. God, I hope it doesn't put us any farther than that. But I don't care. As long as we get there, I don't care. So, like, that's all that matters to me, and I have a feeling that we can do it no matter what. So we're just going to uphold all the standards as best as we possibly can, and then just, you know, let everyone else cheat. They can cheat, and we'll wax them up when we get to
I believe in you.
Albany.
What does Saran wrap in the rower do? I'm just
It
I'm
helps
so
the
far
flywheel,
behind.
the air resistance. You know how there's little, I don't even know what you'd call them.
Like intakes, like air intake?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like air intake.
It
block
pushes
'em?
the fan
Well,
more.
block 'em, yeah.
There's little inlets on the fan or on the flywheel,
Yeah.
and you just block those.
Dude,
so the
it's
flywheel
it just spins. I mean, the same thing as using the air guard on the Echo Bike.
Oh, show
It
me
just
how.
makes it
I
so
hate-
much easier.
gosh, the air guard on the Echo Bike. I hate that. Like, I feel like I'm claustrophobic.
Because you're not
You're
getting
just
wind
not
on
getting
you.
any air back. Those should
But
be
it is
outlawed.
so
Actually, I
much
outlawed
easier.
those out at the gym.
We
We had them
have
on the
them?
assault bikes. We used to have them on the assault bikes, and
Oh.
I said, nah.
Well, here's a question to beat a dead horse. Do you think that this is have you always felt this way? Like, since
About
the
what?
Open's been around? Like, I believe in my heart that in the early days, like, cheaters, maybe people were
Well,
cheating,
no,
but like
I
they
used
would
to
be
believe
rooted out.
in people. Now I don't anymore.
Yeah, like, did that change at a certain
Oh,
point?
yeah. Heck yeah. People cheat.
Yeah, well,
For sure.
you took steroids your whole time. That's
The
how
whole
you
time
won.
I competed.
That's how you
every
won
day.
every year.
Morons. Had to have. This is the
You're-
only
you're one
way.
of
The
those
only way I
cheaters.
could have won all those years is I had to have taken
had to
something.
have.
Had to have. Yeah, somebody. Oh, man.
Somebody.
No, I was
Somebody's.
saying on Hiller made a comment or posted a video the other day of him climbing the rope. I was like, man, you were skinny with needle emojis.
Yeah, I
And
saw
somebody was like, you love needles. Or needle emojis. I was like, yeah, cortisone. and,
Yeah, I saw this. I
What
did
was
see
the other
this.
one? Hyaluronic acid for my knee, basically. Yeah.
Did you see Colton was in the lane next to him? You see Colton for a second.
Oh, no, I didn't see
He was
him.
on a team that year.
Oh, nice. Heck
I think
yeah.
he. What year is that? Did you compete that?
That would have been, I think we were, shoot, I don't even remember. Yeah, it was the 20
17,
legless, 40 cal row, both at the same time, and then 60 snatches. I think it was 3 people.
Oh, that's a good workout.
It's a good workout. We've used it a couple
Yeah, we've
times.
done it.
It's
We've
better
done-
as a 2-person workout.
Yeah. Oh, is it 3 people? Yeah.
Yeah, it's better as
Yeah,
a
yeah. That
2-person workout.
it had to have been 2018.
No.
If Colton
18 would have
qualified.
been the 4-person teams.
Oh yeah, yeah. So never mind. Maybe Colton
I don't know if
qualified as
there,
6
it
people.
might have been. I don't know
Maybe
if
it
it
was.
was 2
I don't know. I just know that Colton went in 2018.
I don't know
Like
if it
I
was
saw
4
old
or
video
6.
and I was like, holy crap, he competed on a team back then. Kilo.
Did the Saran wrap people get caught?
You're hung up on
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never actually
How do we know this?
I've never
well,
actually been on a rower that
I've-
has had saran
I've
wrap,
heard
so
of
I can't
people.
speak
sure.
to
I've
it.
heard of a lot of people doing it.
Like who? Call them out. This is the whole thing.
Well, it's
Like
just
in
like-
competition?
Well, it's like the OPEC
No, in
stuff
online
from a couple years ago
competitions.
where they used the small plates.
Yep.
That was a
Yeah.
dirty you know,
Online
but I guess it was a-
competitions.
Online competitions. That's the system is we got to get back to only in person always.
Except for the Open.
No.
Well, that's the perfect world,
Open's
but
fine.
I think everyone needs to accept we're not operating in a perfect world. Far
Yeah.
I think
from
I
it.
think
right
the
now.
Open online is fine.
No.
Well, you're not sending people directly to the games.
Don't
from
care.
there.
Online competitions are stupid.
Yeah.
I-
Hey, you guys should go
Just
and
kidding.
do.
I think the Open's
your own
great.
deep dive on the Shroud of Turin.
I can't.
Does this have anything?
Bro.
It's the cloth that was laid on Jesus.
No, hey. Put those fingers down.
Okay.
There is
I'm not getting into this. Not on
no
this podcast.
doubt. There's
All right.
no doubt.
And we're done.